This is Jilliana Ranicar-Breese, and I'm back with Sascha Cooper.
Hello.
Hi, Sascha. You're looking very busty today.
Just a bit.
A bit burlesque, I would say.
Oh, just a little bit of burlesque thrown in for you today, yes.
Yeah, daytime burlesque.
Absolutely.
Oh.
Yeah, this is the safe version, folks.
Now tell me, how did you get started with dancing?
Okay, well, I guess you could say I started at the age of 10 years old.
You call that late?
Yeah, in the dance training terms, it is a very late start because a lot of kids start training from about 5 or 6 years old, just as a kind of out-of-school activity mostly. But as Mum and I discovered, if you wanted to train as an actress, in the last sort of thing that I did with Jilliana yesterday, I mentioned about the acting briefly. Well, to train to be an actress, you need to have some kind of not just acting training prior to professional training, but you also need things like ballet, tap, modern, jazz, all that kind of stuff before you even consider stage school, basically. So you've got that backbone. And due to me starting at 10, due to being very, very travel sick when I was a kid, that was a very late start in my training.
Well, your mother was a professional go-go dancer.
Oh gosh, yes, years ago.
So she was travelling. Is that what you mean? When she was travelling?
No. Right, just to make that clear, when Mother did the whole thing with go-go dancing, that was one of her many things she did in the 60s,
right,
long before I was born.
Right.
So when she did travel when I was born, that was due to the all girls roadshow disco that she and my aunt had at the time.
Right.
And obviously being in the middle of nowhere, you can't get anywhere without a car.
Uh-huh.
But to be honest with you, from the age of 5, 6, for some weird reason, I kept passing out every time I got into a car. I was scared of a car. I didn't want to get in it.
It was the motion.
It was everything.
I used to be car sick as well.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
When I was a child, I can't remember how old, every alternative Sunday we would go from Liverpool to Southport, where my uncle lived.
Oh, okay.
And it was every other, obviously the other weeks they came to us, I suppose.
Oh, okay.
And it was about a 45-minute drive.
Oh, yes.
I used to have to put my arms out of the window.
Oh yes, kind of.
Yeah. It was, and then we went through woods, and my mother told me that rabby lugs lived in the woods. But I was still car sick.
Yeah. Do you know, it's funny, you mentioned the bunny lugs type thing because...
Rabby lugs.
That, the whole thing with rabbits, it was a way of trying to get me into the car, but that still didn't work either, so I can empathise with that one.
What do you mean, they had rabbits on the back seat?
No, I used to love bunny rabbits, so
yes.
It was a way of trying to tempt me. And if it worked if I was out on a walk and I didn't want to come back home, so they used the theme of the rabbits to get me back home.
Oh, the theme, okay.
But it still didn't work every time I got into a car. But we actually made a breakthrough in the sense that Mum was advised that it might be a good idea to try a convertible car, so that it wouldn't be as claustrophobic, so to speak. And that would have been when I was about 9. I actually got into a car and liked it, and it was a Golf convertible. That I nicknamed Chitty, as in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. And it's because of that car that I was able to start going to school properly after being taught at home, and then was able to go to things like drama training, dance training. And so between the ages of 11 and 16, it would be, yes, 16, I trained to a very, very high standard, elemental as well as gold medal standard in ballet, tap, modern and jazz dancing.
Wow.
And it was very intense.
So you became a professional dancer?
Yes, because of that training. In fact,
were you part of the troupe?
Funny you should ask that. Throughout my career, I've been part of several troupes, But when I was first starting the old training, we were able to do different shows. And in fact, this very picture, now this one...
That's with your mother.
That's with my mum, yes. Now, in that picture, I would have been about... How old would I have been? About 11 or 12. And that was Pinocchio. And I remember being backstage. This was at one of the theatres in Plymouth. Mother was helping me on with the costume. And I was kind of like a star type thing with the ballet stuff. This one here is actually a different costume from the same show. I've just literally remembered.
Did you make your own costume?
No, my mother did, actually. My mother's the real genius behind that one. So with that one, you know, with Pinocchio in the Disney version, you go under the sea and you see Monstro. And I was one of the fishes who danced underneath. So so that was really my first part of being part of a company, so to speak, because of that dance school.
And the other photo?
So this one is a lot later. Now this one would have been...
Fantastic makeup.
Oh, thank you. I did that one myself. I guess that was one of my first early attempts at stage makeup, I guess.
Right. Because you also do stage makeup.
I do indeed. I do it professionally.
Do you do hair as well?
I do hair, but obviously in this picture I am not experienced to do that. But my mother did that sort of style. Now this one was part of my drama training, of all things. Would you believe it? I mean, I was trained in Lambda by several teachers, but this one I was playing a fairy from Midsummer Night's Dream as part of a showcase, and I had to dance as well as act. And I was trained by Ruth Eaton on that one, my teacher at the time, and she said, go as crazy as you like. I want you to be as sparkly and fairy-like as you can. But Mother made the costumes, and she put all the stuff in my hair, and my gosh, it was a very crazy time. But it was also at that point, about 16, 17, that I was given the opportunity to change direction. Now, this was thanks to Mother. In this one, because when you get to GCSE, obviously you've got a lot of pressures being put on you to do well in your exams. Now, I'd already gotten to a really good high standard in everything that I've just been talking about, and the fact is, I could either have gone on and trained in other things, but to be quite frank, I'm only 5 feet. To be a ballet dancer, you need to be a minimum of about 5'8". I don't know if that's changed now, but I know ballerinas are getting smaller and smaller now in terms of height, which is really good to see. And also dancers are becoming a lot more hippie, which is really good to see as well, because obviously you had to be reed thin. I mean, as you can see,
flat-chested.
Yeah, exactly.
So you didn't pass that test.
No, because I mean, as you can see, even in this picture, at that age, too hippie, even though I was thin there. Too hippie, too busty. No. But really and truly, I was only doing those types of dances to really get the experience to go to say to the stage school, right, I've got this qualification in this qualification in this. So that's really all I was doing. But I did love the bug. And Mum says to me, look, why not relax a little bit here? And just whilst you're focusing on your exams, why not give yourself a little bit of easing off time? Look at other styles of dance, you know. And this was at the time that the Barbican Theatre in Plymouth was really popular. It's still popular today, but in its heyday. Okay. And we're going to pause it there for a moment as well. Are we going to pause it there?
Another minute to
We've got another minute to go.
I'll put my hand up.
That's fine. Okay. But it was in its heyday at this point.
Maybe, yes, you talk about Plymouth on the next...
On the next one, because that's
at the moment it's part 5, and then we'll do part 6.
Okay.
Okay, Sascha.
Thank you, sweetheart.